I didn't see you there. Well, I'm very glad that you are here this evening. You see, I'm trying to read this book and I can't make any sense of it. I don't know where one chapter begins and the next one ends, and after so long, I get bored. If only there was some sort of organization, you know, that would help me see everything the book was going to tell me. Every part of it, every chapter and the page, that would be really helpful. And I think I would enjoy the book. Do you know of such a thing? You do? Okay, fascinating. Where is it? There must be a list of things in the book, or a table of things, or a list of contents. That's it. A table of contents. Of course. Why did I not think of that? And it's at the beginning of the book, okay? There it is. Now, how do I read this?
Good morning, everybody. Again, my name is Samuel Morris, and this is English Language Arts for 3rd and 4th grade. Welcome back. I heard that you just spoke with my twin brother regarding helping him out, and I appreciate you being willing to help him, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. Today, we're going to study table of contents. We're going to use that and other text features to locate information, gain an overview of the contents of a text, and make inferences about that text. So let's get started. That book that my brother was looking at here earlier looks like this. And the table of contents is found right here in the beginning. So let's take a look. Table of contents over here to the left. These long dots are going to connect what the subject matter is to where we can find it. So the table of contents really tells us two things: what and where. So the what is, well, we're going to find out to the reader. That sounds like it'll be a note to the reader. And where, it's on page 11, or in Roman numerals, the XI. Then we see our introductory chapters. The Spring Song, page 3. The Building of the Nest, page 11. The Water Birds, page 21. Birds of Autumn and Winter, page 25. How to Name the Birds, page 35. Synopsis of Families, page 43. And so forth, with bird biographies, key to the birds, index of English names, and index of Latin names. So as an overview, by looking at one page of the book that my brother was reading, what is this book going to be about? Well, we can already tell it's going to be about birds, about the spring songs of birds, the water birds, birds of autumn and winter, maybe how to name the birds, and biographies about birds of prey, my personal favorite, perching songbirds, shore and marsh birds, keys to the birds, the names in English, the names in Latin, all of that good stuff. So as an overview, remember, like we said, on one page, we're able to look at what on the left and where to find it in the book, what the book is going to be about, and where to find it. So based on this table of contents, we see an overview, and then we also get to make an inference. An inference is an educated guess that goes beyond what the text says. So even though this talks about some basic different categories of birds and some information about them, what we get to infer, what we get to guess is, would I read this book? If I saw this in the library, would I check it out? Or if I saw this in a bookstore, would I buy it? Personally, I would. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm a big fan of birds, and this book is actually a book that I have at home. So I would totally read this book, but maybe you're not a big fan of birds. Maybe you would rather read about sports or cars. Maybe you would rather read a fiction story of romance or of friendship. So this book isn't for everybody, but the table of contents helps us understand what and where is happening in the book. So for our first practice, we're going to use the information below in this other table of contents for a different book to answer some questions. So we can see that the name of this book is Slippery Seals by Sam Newton, and there are about 5 different sections located on these pages. So what? Seal bodies, hungry seals, seal habitats, and so forth. And where? Well, page 3, 5, 7, 9, and 12. So let's answer the first question together. On what page would you look to find out about what seals eat? Seal bodies, hungry seals, seal habitats, seal pups. To me, this sounds like hungry seals would tell us about what seals eat. So we're going to see the what right here, hungry seals. Follow the dotted line to where? Page 5. So we're going to say page 5. Okay, what information would you find if you looked on page 7? So now we're going to do the opposite. We're going to look at where first. We're going to look at the page numbers. Page 7, follow the dotted line backwards. Seal habitats. Who is the author of this book? Again, that's going to be found at the top, or sometimes not on the table of contents, sometimes just on the front cover. But we can see from here, this book is called Slippery Seals by Sam Newton. What page would we find the glossary on? Glossary, page 12. And what is the glossary used for? So the glossary is kind of like a table of contents, but in the back. And the glossary is going to tell you what words were used, what they mean, and where they were found. So in one way, it's kind of like a table of contents, but instead of telling us general ideas, it's going to tell us about specific vocabulary words. So the glossary is like a table of contents for vocabulary words. And we already said that that would be found on page 12. Let's move on to another one. The title of this book here, if you'll read it with me, is Hurricanes. The author is Kim Brown. And we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different sections with their corresponding page numbers. So same thing. Let's look at the questions. On what page would you look to find out about early signs of a hurricane? Early signs of a hurricane. The storm is coming, measuring. Ooh, measuring, no, but the storm is coming. That sounds like early signs of a hurricane, and that's on page 2. We follow that along. What information would you find if you looked on page 6? Measuring hurricanes. Who is the author? We already talked about that. That's Miss Kim Brown. What page would you find the index? Down here, 11. And what is the index used for? Similar to a glossary table of all contents, but it's usually at the end of a book. Now it's going to be your turn. So you're going to pick a book from your house or any book that you see at the library, and you can use the printable feature on the website to print out this document and walk me through the title of your book and the information that we can get just from that one page. That's going to help us gain an overview of the book and also make some inferences about what the book will be about. Let's go check in with my brother and see if he's able to get started with our help.
Thank you so much for learning with me and showing me how to use the table of contents to find the different chapters and page numbers, and actually in a single page be able to know what the book will be about and if I'm interested in purchasing it. I believe your next lesson today is in mathematics, so enjoy that. But until next time, well, on behalf of my twin brother, Mr. Morris says thank you very much, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.